Morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Happy Sunday. Ooh, let's see who's going to come in. Who is going to turn up?
Going into the jungle today, but into the castle.
That makes no sense.
I'm a celebrity, get me out of this castle.
Oh, sorry. Thought she was talking about our lesson plan. I was
No.
a bit scared by it all, really.
Morning.
Oh, cool. Lucy's in. Your Raph's here. That's really nice. Hi, everybody.
Good
Nice to see
morning.
you
It's
all.
cold in here this morning.
It is quite cold.
Ooh, I bet you're lovely and tucked up in your nice warm houses. There are some benefits to doing it at home, aren't there?
Yes, your Raph. Pumpkin Spice Coreflex.
Coreflex.
We are
Episode 2.
trying to get you through pumpkin spice lockdown, and we got some cool stuff in store for you today. Hey Freya, hi Zoe,
Hi Zoe.
Sam's here, Jane's here, morning all. So, oh, and Erin's jumped in, that's nice too, always nice to see
Member
you.
of the team.
So give you a little overview whilst we wait for a few more people to jump in of what is going to happen. We're going to switch over from last week, so Joe's going to take you for the first
20
minutes or so.
Anything to get myself warmed up.
Basically. And then I'm going to take you for the last 20 minutes of the... And we've got a nice little yoga flow
Morning,
planned.
Phoebe.
Phoebe's here. Oh, lush. There's loads of you.
Loads,
This is an
yeah.
awesome turnout.
Great, well done.
Let's get some pumpkin spice work on.
Okay, so take yourself to your mat. Make sure you have something, if you want to have something to drink beside you, a glass of water, a cup of tea, would be nice. I would like you to just come into a standing position, feet around about hip width apart, and then just take a little bit of a wiggle. Shake out your body, shake out your legs, shake out your arms, let it all go. And then find a place where the weight is equally balanced through the feet, and then take both arms, float them up and above you. Taking a big reach high, we're going to drop one arm in front and one arm behind. And then up again, other way. So one arm in front, one arm behind. We're just loosening through our shoulders to begin with. Just let those arms go. Start to exhale, drop. Inhale, rise. Exhale, drop. Inhale, rise. Just 4 more here. 1. Can't think about this too much. You just got to let it happen. If you think about it too much, you get a bit confused. Last time, stop at the top. We're going to take this one all the way down to the floor, so we're going to take a lovely swan dive down. Bring your hands, slide them up your shins, come slightly into flat back extension, lengthen through the spine, and then roll back down. Take a deep breath in, come all the way up to standing, bending the knees, bring the arms out nice and wide, take a big reach high, drop one arm in front, one behind, and do that again. Fab. And again, take a big swan dive down. Bring your arms nice and wide. Take them to shins to ankles to feet to floor. Slide up the shins, flat to back extension. And lower down. Bend your knees, hang your head, loosen. And then roll through the spine, come up, arms wide. Chin on chest. At the top, drop one in front, one behind. Other side. Lovely. Last time through. Swan dive. Hands up, shins flat, back extends. And gently lower all the way. Hang out here in a ragdoll, so we're just hanging down. Bring your torso down towards thighs, letting the head, the neck and the shoulders hang. Walk your hands forward to the front of your mat. And when you get to the front end of the mat, just drop down onto those knees. Come into a 4-point kneeling position. Press your hands down underneath your shoulders, lift your chest up nice and high. And then curling the chin towards the chest, make a cat stretch, scooping your navel up into your spine. Dip and release, press chest, look forward and up. We call this the cow pose. And then again, come into cat stretch. Arch back, draw your tummy muscles in. Make like an angry cat. Dip, release, look forward and press. Come into the happy cow. A little smile on your dial. Give us a little squeeze over the right shoulder. Hello, Liv.
Sorry, left and right.
Ribs to hips. And through the centre, but it is reversed on the camera anyway, so it doesn't matter.
We've got both sides
Not
covered.
at all. We've got it all covered between us. And dip and release. And whichever way you went, go the other way now. Turn, shins, flex towards the shoulder, wrists towards the hips. So you're feeling that lovely pinch, that squeeze in the waist. One more time, we cat, arch back. Dip, release, happy cows. And over to the right. Sorry, hello, there she is. Center to curl cat stretch. Dip and release. And squeeze it over to the other side. So could you take your big toes and slide them close together? Take your knees wider on your mat and start to gently push backwards. How low you go is up to you. Pressing your hips back towards your heels, stretching your arms out long, and then laying the head down to the floor if that's comfortable for you. Curl it up into cat stretch. Curl the chin, knees wide. And push back down into those hips and heels. Hips and heels. Scoop navel into spine. Come on up, arch your back. Chin to chest. Push your body weight even further forward this time. Warming up and moving the shoulders. And back you go, child's pose. Sitting back down as low as you feel comfortable to go. Each time you do that, you might get a little looser in the pelvis and the low back. Take your right hand, scoop it underneath and thread the needle. Outer forearm, elbow, shoulder, or even head can come down onto the floor. Now let your hips lift, work your shoulder and your head down towards the floor. And only then when you get there, stretch the arm even further and slide back into your heels a little bit more to feel depth in that stretch. Lovely. We call this thread the needle. Come on up then, and let's take it back over into the other side. Left arm through, outer palm, forearm, upper arm, shoulder, possibly the head. Now take your other arm, stretch it forward. And then slide your hips back as low as you feel comfortable to go, threading the needle. Reach a little further through. Wonderful. Come back up. Spread your arms nice and wide. Scoop the navel into the spine and come into a wide knee cat stretch. Shift your body weight forward. And push back. Lovely. So this time we're going to stay up nice and high. And as we come up, thread the needle through, but take your arm and then fully extend it up high. Take that big stretch. Thread the needle, get the hips up, and open wide. Just 3 more here this side. Scoop, and open. Try to extend that arm. Scoop, and open. Last time through on this side. Hook it down and open. And then place the hand back, shoulder width. Other side. Thread the needle. Open that wide. Try to lift up through your chest and open that top arm. And again. 4, 3 more this side. See if you can improve the range you're moving in with every rep. 2. And last one. Up and open. Lovely. Come back down. So we're putting our hands as wide as your shoulders. We're putting our feet hip distance apart. And then we're curling 10 toes onto the mat. And then keeping the head and the chest down low, lead with your bottom and push it upwards to the ceiling. Press the bottom to the ceiling, that's great. So your feet are hip distance and have a little look at them. Hands are shoulder width. Slide the weight into the thumb ends and spread your fingers wide onto the floor. So you've got a nice firm rounded base here for your down dog. Start by coming up onto the balls of the feet and tip the butt up to the ceiling. And now really elongate your spine from tailbone through to crown of the head, tapping chin towards chest. Feel that wonderful length all the way up the back. Now start to ease your heels down towards the floor, one at a time or both. And see how much length you can get through the hamstrings as well here. We're going to walk the dog, so it's one heel at a time, pedaling into the floor. Walking your dog this morning. Has anybody actually been out and taken the dog out this morning? Walkies. Walk the dog. Heels down. Work through the hips. Feel that lovely length through the spine. Keep long and strong in the back. And last time here, foul. to the knees, look forward and spring your right leg to the front of the mat. Drop the back knee, flatten the foot. And in this position, keep pushing down through the hips as we release the hands off the floor. And we're slowly letting those arms lift. Keep pressing down through the hips as you go. And feel that lovely stretch there through the fronts of the hips. Look up, lean back, breastbone to the ceiling. And release it on an in-breath. Again, press back to the down dog. Feet hip width, hands shoulder width. Press through the chest, lengthen through the spine, bend knees. Start to straighten those legs if you can. And then crouch into the legs and spring forward, left leg to the front of the mat. Drop the back knee, flatten the foot. Drop the hips in low. Bring your hands off the floor. Keeping the hips down low. Let the torso and the arms lift. Lovely. Good morning. Salute the sun. There it is. Fab. Are we feeling warmer? Are we feeling slightly looser? Yes, indeed. Let the arms come back down. Find the floor. And then work your way back to a kneeling position. Lovely. So just taking a moment here, have a drink, take a layer off if you need it. We're going to move straight into our first little bit of mat work with me today. So, we're doing about 20 minutes each, taking about a 10-minute warm-up. So we've got about 10, maybe I might stretch it to 11 or 12 minutes of Pilates. But we're going to start here, coming forward onto all fours. Drawing the tummy muscles up and in, feel that wonderful stretch through the back. Pull the shoulder blades down and away. And then when you're ready, just slowly take out your right leg behind you. Keep the hips nice and square. Keep the body nice and strong. Just lift and lower right leg. So in this position, we're lifting and lowering that right leg without shifting or drifting through the hips at all. Lovely. So think belly button plumb in the center, avoiding any drift or shift, keeping neutral hollow in low back, chest lifted, shoulders back, shoulders away from the ears. Hold it at the top and start to move in a different direction. We go away and back, moving away from the midpoint. Your main point of focus here is that you have that stillness, that isolation of those internal core muscles. Lovely, just a couple more here is good. Now hold the leg up long, and with the leg nice and long, flex your foot and squeeze the heel up to the bottom. Point the toes and stretch the leg away as one rep. Flex heel and pull, point toes and stretch, 2. Squeeze heel, point toes, 3, just 2 more. Heel, toe, push. Heel, toe, push. Last one, hold here with the foot flexed towards the ceiling. Push that heel upwards with 10 little pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Stretch off the leg, bring the knee back under the hip without any shift or drift from side to side. Give your wrists a loosen if you need to, for we have that little sequence on the other side. Shoulders away from ears. Body weight comes forward, so we're active in the core center. Left leg extends, straight leg lift and lower. 1. Eyes down, chin in. Try not to drift. 5 times we hold it at the top, and 5 times we take it out. With centering, controlling the midsection of your body. Hold it long, go for the hamstring curl, flex, heel squeeze to butt, point toe stretch away, 1. Keep your knee up nice and high in line with your hip throughout, so we're not letting that leg drop at all. 2 more for me here. 1, 2, and then hold it at the top, flat foot to the ceiling, push. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Lovely. Press and extend both legs behind you. Come into high plank on knees or on toes, and then walk your hands towards your feet, pushing bottom towards the ceiling. Avoid any drift or shift. Center control. Find your fold at the back end of the mat, scoop the tummy, and roll the spine to stand. Take a deep breath in, float both arms above you. Exhale and roll it. Curl chin down towards the chest, let the arms hang. Slowly Walk your arms out in front of you. Come into plank preparation. First round here, we're going to come forward and long. Keep the hips nicely lifted and the body nice and strong. Put your knees down. I'm going to take it into a walking plank. So right arm leads down onto forearms and back up. Forearm, forearm, press, press. Left arm leads. Forearm, forearm, press, press. Eyes on thighs, bottoms to the ceiling. Push back, walking hands towards your feet. Try to avoid any little drift. Center control and pull back up to standing. Come up nice and high. Take a deep breath in. Float arms above you with a big reach high. And do it again. Chin comes to chest, arms hang straight down from the shoulders, roll. Walk out into plank. This time we have an option. On the knees gentler, on the toes slightly harder. Stay strong through plank preparation, forearm walks. Down, down, up, up, change to the left. Eyes on thighs, bottoms to the ceiling, walk hands towards your feet. Try to avoid any drift or shift. Take your time, scoop your navel, pull up to standing. One vertebra at a time. Breathe in deeply. Go back. Roll down. Walk out. Lovely. So, on knees or on toes, you choose the level you want to work at today. Walk your plank. Do take your time. Try to avoid drifting through the body. Keep that strength through the core. Push back. Eyes on thighs. Minimize the wiggle. When you get there, stabilize through feet first, hang head, scoop navel and pull up with your tailbone tucked under. Move and roll through the spine. Take a breath. Arms up. Let it go. Last time through, please. Arms hang, chin tucks. For the very brave, I do have an option. You are welcome to lift one of your feet off the floor. So eyes on thigh, scoop navel, with one leg lifted, walk the plank. Change leg, change sides, walk the plank. Really find that level quite hard. Push back, eyes on thighs, minimize the wiggle. And as you come all the way to the back of the mat, scoop your navel into the spine and come on up. Breathe in deeply. Arms float. Extend it. Release them and roll on down. Well done. Let the arms hang, chin tucks, curl it down. Walk out. Come back into a kneeling posture. Put your hands under your shoulders, put your knees under your hips. Hold stillness through the body. Shift your body weight forward. You're going to repeat the same sequence we've done already, so you know with familiarity what you're doing. But this time you have the option, with the right leg long, the left arm can come away. So I can go to the front with this arm. I can take it out wide to the side or to that diagonal point. Pointer, lift and lower. I did wonder if that arm was coming up. 2, it's an option, you can keep it down. 4, after 5, hold at the top, leg goes out and in. The arm stays still, it is literally just held away from the midpoint of the body to force the internal muscles to fire a little bit more effectively. Hamstring curl when you're ready. Try to avoid the drift or the shift. 3, keep pulling up through that midsection of the body. After 5, we hold strength here and we push up 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Have a moment, please. Give your wrists a wriggle. Give everything a little loosen. Flex through those wrists if that feels nice for you. For we have the pleasure of doing that all again on the other side. And it is a pleasure. Are you ready? Extend left leg. Extend opposing arm. Down and up. Keep the body weight shifting forward. Make sure those internal muscles are firing. Feel a little shake in the tummy. and then you know you're hitting those core muscles out and in. It's called reactive core training. So we force the body into a posture where the internal muscles, the core, reacts and responds to what you're doing. Heel flex to butt, point toe stretch. Flex to butt, 2, breathe. And after 5, hold here, flexed foot, push to the ceiling, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Drop it out wide. Feet come together. Slip back into your haunches and then loosen through those wrists any way at all that feels good for you. Could you bring your head all the way down to the floor and just enjoy a moment here to loosen? Some people find it nice just to wriggle wrists. Some people find it's nice to move the shoulders from side to side in child's pose. Or we have the option of walking both hands over to the right side, working nose towards the knee, making a C shaping in the spine. Move it through the center, back the other way. Nose onto knee, C shape. Give it a little squeeze. And up you pop. Fab. Coming forward, bring your legs through to the front end of the mat and find yourself on your back for a little bridge. So just a couple of minutes in bridge. I'm going to take off my socks because I know that Emma's going to be doing some yogi with us in a minute. But also, we see better, yeah, perfect. So coming down onto your back here, feet hip width. Hands down on the floor beside you, scoop the navel in towards the spine, so curl your pelvis, press your lumbar spine into the floor, so it's movement through the spine, and just individually climb up your back to the top. Now, if you are struggling with any issues in your back today, this level might well be enough for you. You might just be happy to roll and move your spine in bridge. It's a wonderful way to check on mobility in your spine, but also just to help you to loosen and move each vertebrae. So a little bit of practice, a little bit of movement around every single vertebrae to keep the spine nice and healthy and flexible. Lovely. So that might be enough for you today. If it is, that's fine. Coming up with us this time, you can stay at the top. Press equal pressure through both of your feet and walk your heels a tiny bit closer to your bottom if you can. This helps you to drive your hips up higher, and you can either press your hands into the floor, or here, we're interlinking the hands underneath the bottom and then climbing up right onto the blades of the shoulders, up there. So the hips stay nice and high and stable. Now don't be tempted to grab it and hold it, just rest your hands down towards the floor if you can. Start by lifting the right knee and holding the right knee in line with the hip. Hold it there. Place it down onto the floor and repeat. Hold it there. Keep the hips up high and lower. And repeat. 3. You have 2 more. 4. You have 1 more. Keep pressing down through the hands. Push up and hold. Last time. Stay at the top. And then fully lengthen the leg. 1 and bend. 2 and bend. 3, push it high. 4, last 1. Hold it long and stretch it away. For 5, keep the hips high. 4, squeeze the butt. 3, nearly there. 2 and 1, release it off. And in the words of Jane Fonda, did you feel the burn? Did you get the burn in the butt? That's what we were looking for there today. Some nice strong glute work. And of course, me being me, you get the pleasure of doing that on the other side. So stay with rolling through the spine if it's enough today. Curling, rolling, loosely up and down. Last time through, hold at the top. And as you lift it, climb onto shoulder blades, interlink hands under the butt, push your hands down to the floor, activate the back of the body strong, and we go 5, knee and lower, 4, 3, 2, 1 more. Now here we go, we stay up, we stretch, 1, 2, keep it high, 3, nearly there, 4, 5 times, hold low, stretch away, 2 hips higher, 3, 4, last 1, and you can release that off any way that feels good for you. Take both knees into the chest and hug them. Make a massaging of your low back into the floor. One-way circles, back the other way circles. Well done, everybody. Have yourself a little slurp of your water, and I'm just going to move over to allow you access to Imogen. There she is.
Grab a little drink if you need one. You're going to come back through to a kneeling position when you're ready. Kind of recompose yourself after that. Luckily for you guys, I've got a really short, nice little flow for us to do. And we're going to finish off in a little bit of yin yoga. So we're going to take some really nice holds and some really long pauses in some of these poses. So just take a little moment to allow your heart rate to come back down. Find this nice comfortable kneeling position where your feet are flat to the floor. We haven't got the toes tucked. We're just going to relax here and take about 5 deep breaths, just to kind of come back in and have that little moment to be. Find that introspection again. Think about how you're feeling after the work you've just done, and how you're feeling on this Sunday morning. Think about inhaling deep, feeling your belly expand. Maybe hold one hand here just to feel the breath come in and out. And by taking those slow, deep breaths, we're actively slowing our heart rate back down, activating the parasympathetic nervous system, just allowing the body to come into this relaxed state. Maybe take your other hand onto your heart space and just feel that slowing of the heart rate through the in and out of the breath. Go one more time here, your deepest breath. Yeah, inhale slow for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale slow for 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to come back to that breath later on in our yin section. When you're ready to, hands come to thighs, eyes open if they were closed there, and then place them on the floor, spread the fingertips wide. Inhale, tuck your toes for sure, hips high to find your down dog. First time today here, we're just going to take, well, first time with me that is. We're going to take 3 deep breaths just to find a little spinal roll. So think about inhaling, rolling and arching the spine, bringing the shoulders up to the ears. Come forward through to your high plank. Find that little bit of work through your core, and then exhale, push the hips back, push the heels back, and then lift into your down dog. 2 more times with breath. Inhale, we roll. Think about moving your spine to its maximum ability. Exhale, push the hips back, make that arch through the lower back. Inhale, roll. Exhale, press. Inhale, your last time, come forward, find that high plank. When you're there, push hands into the floor strong. Exhale, knees down, toes relax. Inhale, lengthen the spine, lift the collarbones. Exhale, work elbows into waist, lower your body all the way down to the floor. Take your hands and just widen them a touch so you can eyeball your fingertips either side. And instead of flattening the hands, let's go for a lifted on the fingertips. A little iguana pose. We're going to inhale, again curling and rolling through the spine. Find your lift in that modified cobra. And then exhale, ripple your way back down, rib cage to floor, neck relaxes. 3 more times with breath. Inhale, lift. Through the neck and the throat as well, if it feels good for you today. Exhale to floor. 2 more times. Inhale, pull back through the shoulders. And then exhale, press the chest forward and long, come on down. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, we ripple. Inhale, we slide the hands back just wider than the chest. Tuck all 10 toes onto the floor. Push your way back to your down dog. And then exhale into child's pose for me. Just drop the knees in line with the hips. Keep it a fairly narrow leg. And push your way back into your child's pose. Forehead to floor if that feels right for you today. Or just resting on the forearms and the hands. Having a little hammock hang out through the neck and the shoulders. Inhale, we're going to take our child's pose into our puppy pose. So we want to walk the hands forward enough that your hips lift away from your heels and your hips should align directly over your knees. From there, we keep walking the hands forward and extending through the spine. Your aim is to leave your hips high, but get your chest or your forehead down to the floor. We can rest here if this extension's a little strong for you today, coming onto the forearms. If you make it with the forehead to the floor, try and allow a little more tension to release from your upper back. Or full extension all the way through the neck. See if you can get your chin to the floor and your eye gaze to your hands. Your puppy pose, take a deep breath in. Exhale, soften the chest, keep pushing the pelvis back and up. Inhale, walk the hands in just a touch. Take the right leg and shoot it out wide. Try and get the sole of the foot flat to the floor, as you can see here with Joe. Exhale, work your way back into that puppy pose. So leave your hips up nice and high. Work forehead, chest, or maybe chin to the floor. And use a couple of breaths just to keep working pelvis back and up. Extension in the spine. And adding that really nice little inner thigh stretch there as well through the right leg. Exhale to soften all around your pelvis and your hips. Inhale to walk back up and in. Set the hands shoulder width apart. Bring the right leg in. Inhale, tuck and roll up into your down dog. Push the hips high. Exhale, breath draw forward. Find your high plank. And on knees or on toes, lower down to the floor. Inhale up. Find your cobra. Leave the hips down so we're not in up dog. Release and relax your feet. And then you're going to take a little extra extension in your spine for me. You're not going to be able to see this very well on us. But I want you to point your toes and then peel them back and bend the knees. Take the feet towards the back of the head. Inhale, make this really lovely arch through the back. Exhale, with the knees bent, we're going to revolve on the right arm, over, looking to the left, with the knees down, lift top leg, and extend top arm. Find your nice little modified side plank. You want to take this one a little bit further with Joe here, you're going to see it really well. She's going to take her top arm back to find the top foot. And if you can make it and you can grab onto it, go on, Joe. And you can find that little bit more extension. Inhale, hold. With me if you need to, top arm just reaching to the sky. Breathe in and stay, squeeze up the waist. Exhale and lower back down, revolve into that really lovely press, head towards heels. Exhale, extend the legs long, release them. Tuck the toes under and find your hips back up into that down dog position. Exhale, knees to floor, flatten the feet, take a little breath in child's pose, working the hips back. And then inhale, come up and forward, leaving your hips above your knee line, shooting your left leg out to the side so that you can get the sole of the foot flat to the floor. Walk and come down into that puppy pose. So puppy, the hips are high. We're not back in child's pose. We're leaving the hips up nice and high and then finding extension in the spine. You're going to feel this one really nicely through your lower to your upper back. With each little exhale breath, think about pushing the pelvis back and up to the ceiling to find that more intensity in the stretch of the inner part of the thigh. Exhale if you can, really try and get your chin to the floor, extend the arms long. Inhale, walk back up and in, hands set just under the shoulders, left foot tucks back in. Inhale, find your down dog. Exhale, press the shoulder blades wide. Inhale, roll forward, extend to that high plank. On knees or on toes, lower slowly with control. Shoulders forward of wrists all the way to the floor. Relax into your passive cobra. While the hips stay low and the chest lifts. And then inhale when you're ready, really point those toes and tuck them in towards your shoulders. Bend the knees and squeeze the butt, find extension, head towards soles of feet. Inhale, we're going to go over the left arm and the left knee, revolve to the right side, lift right arm high, breathe in, find a squeeze underneath your waist, keep lifting through that top arm if it's enough for you today, or find that little bit more extension by grabbing the foot behind you, top knee stays lifted, and we kick away into the hand for that added little shoulder stretch, extension, breathe in, hold, exhale, stay strong. Inhale, squeeze underneath your waist. Exhale, release and revolve back over. Just a moment in that big extension.
I doubt if they can see how much we were shaking.
I know, I hope they could. Exhale, release those legs long, tuck under the toes, breathe in, fire your hips back and up. Lovely work. One more little flow for us here today before we find a nice big stretch. Breathe in, come forward. Exhale through your high plank to your low chaturanga down. Inhale, find your cobra. Exhale, push your way back to down dog. Breathe in. We're going to bend the knees nice and low and then spring the right leg forward, landing in between your hands. Come up and frame the foot by lifting the collarbones. And then your back leg, which you're just going to be able to see on me here, your heel's just going to drop to the floor really naturally on an angle. So back foot goes across your mat, front foot stays forward. Turn and drop into your hips by bending this front knee so you feel like your pelvis and your chest are square along the line of your mat. And then when you're ready to free the arms, inhale and come up, find your warrior one. So in warrior one here, we're working, I'm going to just show you on Joe. To find your pelvis really, really square. Everything faces forward. This front knee is bent nice and low, so she's got a shelf created on her front thigh, and then the back leg is working just as hard as the front. So you're going to start to feel this one, 5 deep breaths, shaking our intensity in the front leg. I want you to think, inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, bend into that front knee more. And then push and squeeze your back heel hard onto the floor by pulling up your kneecap and turning through the hips. Inhale, hold. Exhale, let the elbows start to drop wide. Pull them back and find more extension in the spine by creating a little cactus arms. And then on your next inhale breath, shoot them all the way forward and down. Turn onto your back toes, so we lift back into our lunge reset. Exhale, back to down dog. Inhale, work your way forward through that high plank. Roll and find your vinyasa. Exhale, knees or toes to the floor. Inhale, up to the ceiling, cobra, up dog. And exhale your way back. Going again, breathe in, bend the knees, crouch. Exhale, spring the foot inside the hands. Drop your back heel on that angle. Take a little moment to look and make sure the feet are set in that nice position. And then once you bend that front knee enough that you feel like your pelvis is square and you can stabilize without your hands, we can take that nice big inhale breath to lift. Warrior one. Actively working evenly through both legs. So your front knee is bent, taking a lot of the work. The back part of your hip rolls forward so that everything's nice and square to the front. And as we inhale and lift those arms, I want you to think back heel pushing hard to the floor, like you're trying to lift up the arch of your foot on that back leg. Inhale, hold. Exhale, sink into the hips, try and stay in the work. Inhale, lift the head and the chest. Exhale, pull your elbows back, find that little more extension through the spine. And then inhale, shoot everything forward. Lift and tuck your back toes. Push your way back through to your down dog. Take one last time here. Inhale, roll vinyasa. Curl forward. Exhale, strong to the floor. Inhale to lift the chest. And exhale, work your way back into your down dog. Walk your feet very slowly in towards your hands. Find your forward fold. And either walking through or tucking one leg behind the other, take a little seat onto the floor for me. Super work, everybody. Got a little bit sweaty in that as well. Heart rate's up for sure. We're going to take a hold of the back of the knees. We got one more little bit of work before we stretch. Inhale, lift the head and the chest. Exhale, extend the arms long. And once your arms are long and you're leaning back enough, you're going to find that your lower abdominals start to pull in. Finding our boat pose today, we can go either just right leg lifts, just left leg lifts to meet it. Let go of the legs. If that's enough, and you can hold that pose. 5 deep breaths here. Inhale, chest up high, straight, strong spine. Exhale, lean back a little further. Inhale, stay. Exhale, point the toes if you want to. Go that little bit further, find straight legs. 2 more breaths. Inhale, hold. Exhale, a little bit lower. Take your last inhale breath. And then exhale, hug the knees into the chest. Give them a little squeeze into the chest. You can stay with Joe here, relaxing, finding that little bit of stretch. You're with me. If you want to take our last vinyasa, then we're just going to roll over the knees, hands flat to floor, step back through down dog. Inhale, roll forward. Exhale to floor. Inhale to lift. Exhale to roll and curl. And then walk back through. Meet everybody here, holding onto the knees, finding that little seated position, and that little rock and roll out through the hips and the pelvis. Good. Coming into our stretch. We're going to focus in and around the hips today. So for just the last 5 minutes of class today, we got 2 lovely poses. We're going to hold for a really long extended time. So here with me, you can bring the soles of your feet together. Allow the knees to drop open just as much as feels right for you. And then holding your ankles or your shins, I want you to tuck the feet in as close as they'll go towards your hips. See how that feels. Maybe take a little rock side to side through the pelvis and the sit bones. This is a nice, lovely grounding pose. So we want to feel grounded through the hips, grounded through the outer part of the foot, and then trying to find that grounding through the knees. So here, take your hands behind you, use them like a little bit of scaffolding either side of your hips. Breathe into the chest and lift, extend the spine. Exhale, soften and try and ground those knees. Now by grounding here, I don't expect everybody to go knees flat to floor. It's a big old stretch, so a lot of flexibility. Even if you find that your knees still sit quite high, we're finding that feeling of grounding by allowing them to relax and feeling like nothing that we're actively doing is keeping the knees away from the floor. So if naturally their position is here, then that's good. But with every inhale breath as you lift and extend the spine, find that length and that height. Exhale, take away points of tension around your hips, around your quads, maybe even around your knees or your ankles that you feel like you're holding or squeezing, and just allow the knees to come wider. Maybe close your eyes here if it feels good for you. Inhale the chest up high. Use those arms like scaffolding to sit really tall to your maximum height. And if you can take away that point of support, we're going to keep allowing the knees to come forward. And we're going to take the hands to either the shins or the ankles, or we're going to wrap them around the feet if you make it. That's not a chance to slump the spine. We're still lifted to our maximum. And we're still exhaling away tension from the knees. And you should just start to feel this stretch pulling up through the inner thigh, down really nicely into the groin, the internal hip rotators, the hip flexors, pelvis just softening here as well. Give me about 3 more breaths. Tap back into that slow inhale, exhale, where we feel in control of how the body feels, the rate of the heart, the speed at which we're breathing. Inhale up the chest for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, soften down for 4, 3, 2, 1. Start to curl chin to chest. Start to roll through the spine, losing that height. And as your head goes heavier and your shoulders start to hang forward, feel that stretch moving out of your inner thigh and round through the quad, through the pelvis, to the outer part of the hip and the butt. Very slowly in your own time, make a little bit of space between your hips and your heels by bringing them a couple of inches forward, and then exhale slowly, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep letting the back of the neck relax and the weight of your head draw your body a little lower into this stretch. And just see how this feels in your hip. Again, your knees might be quite high as long as you're actively relaxing them and taking them wide, and that's good for you today. You might be here with the hands just to the floor or to the shins or the ankles, or you might be able to keep a hold of those feet, maybe very gently rest your elbows and your forearms down onto the calves, and bring a little bit more pressure here just to work the knees out wide and to keep softening with every breath down into your body. For a little bit of pressure point work that goes really nicely with this yin style of yoga, this long hold, if you're down and you're low enough and this is an option, you might be able to slide your forearms underneath the outer parts of your shin and your calf, and then as you exhale and keep working your way down, the weight of the leg is just going to bring a nice little bit of pressure onto the wrists and the forearms. A little bit of pressure point work just for the last about 1 minute here, holding this pose. And if it starts to feel really uncomfortable at any time, you can come out of it and you can shake and wiggle off your hips and do what feels right for you today. But I want you to encourage your body to find comfort in this stretch. To allow your muscles to know that this stretch is a safe place to be, and that this length and this flexibility can be encouraged in your body. Exhale, really just loosen any tension across your face, your neck, your ears, your head. Inhale slow for 4, 3, 2, 1. Let everything go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale very slowly, trying to keep this little feeling of relaxation that you found. Uncurl your forearms if you were down there with me, and just start to walk your hands up the legs to about the hips, and then one at a time extend them long. Take a little moment to do what feels right here. It might be a rock from side to side in the pelvis. It might be a lean forward and back in the chest, just easing out whatever happened there in your hips. But I really hope it was lovely and you really enjoyed that pose today. Coming up, sitting any way that feels right for you, taking a little moment just to ground that energy back down. Inhale, sit tall, lift the chest and collarbones. Exhale, work chin to chest, allow the neck to stretch. Inhale all the way up, eye gaze to ceiling or chin to ceiling. Stretch out the throat and the front of the neck. Exhale, make a big circle with their head all the way over to the right. Down through center, slowly to the left. And then back again, all the way over. Slowly moving through, finding that length. Inhaling back through centre, giving your shoulders a little shimmy. Feels much lighter in here than it did at the start of the class. It's like we've invited that sunlight in and woken everybody up for your Sundays. But thank you very much, everybody. Give yourself a round of applause.
Thanks, everybody.
Super
Well
job.
done.
Let's read through all of your antics.
Have a lovely day. Who was with us?
Give us a little shout if you were with us all the way through today. Oh, it feels like we were busier than last week.
Thumbs.
This is awesome. Yeah, give us a little comment. Let me know how you're feeling after that. How are your hips feeling? Oh, loads of people turned up. Lisa was here. Jill was here. Morning, Jill.
Is that Simon?
Alison
Was that Simon?
here. Sean was here. Lush. Phoebe was
Victoria?
rushing back for a run, naturally. Erin said, thanks, Joe. It might have been,
You're very welcome.
don't know how I feel about that.
Hi, Jill.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks, Freya. You're a
Have
star.
a lovely day. Oh, Jane.
Oh, Sean and Denise are here. That's really cool. Hi,
I hope you're
guys.
feeling better.
Excellent. Your app made it to the live. This is really, really cool. Oh, that's epic. Knee with the floor. See, sometimes it just takes a whole lot of time. Time and holding
Do you think
stretches.
Alison really wanted to join in?
No, I don't think she does. Cool. Well, have a
Lovely
fabulous
to see you.
Sunday, everybody. Super pleased. Any questions, as always, just give us a shout or put me a DM. And otherwise, we will see you.
If anybody's struggling as well with any kind of aches or injuries or anything, and you want any specific stretches that Emma and I can prescribe or give to you, let us know. If you're having, sciatica or shoulder problems or something, if there's anything that we can put in there that will help that. Normally we'd see you face to face and be able to say, oh, try this. So also drop us a line. We do have a bit of spare time.
Little bit.
Little bit.
Little bit. Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye. See you soon.
See you soon.
Bye.